Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, business owners of the internet, I am here to show you that it is possible to get 20 conversations every single month with exactly who you want to talk to, despite the world lying to you. I've gone through 3 or 4 organizations that have all said they can get me the conversations I need. They're going to use social media. They're going to book meetings on my calendar. Well, guess what? All I get is likes, shares, pom-poms and pep rallies. I don't win the game. I don't get the people that I want to talk to until I met these ladies here. Susan, Mindy, just give a wave. Let us know you're alive. Perfect. So just suspend your disbelief for one moment because I want to show you my calendar. There's really no use in explaining it. It is my actual calendar booked with meetings. So this is a live thing going on right here. What you saw in the screenshot, I usually have 6 to 8 meetings booked every week. Here's 1, 2, this is this week, 1, 2, 3. I'm trying to be fair. Some of these are follow-up calls. 4, 5. Okay, so they're 5 this week. Oh, this is an off week. Huh, guys. Anyway, so the point is that when you're judging an organization based on their ability to book you phone calls, this was July. These are people that I am having conversations with, and everyone in orange represents an opportunity, meaning they're a fit and they're actively interested in a follow-up call with me and another conversation. So don't settle for this typical results of getting nothing from LinkedIn. Let me just click through some of the previous months. Here's June, May, April, March. These ladies here have figured out a system where all I have to do is show up for my calls and I get more than I need. And people should know about this because everyone seems to be left with a bad taste in their mouth after working with 2 or 3 organizations that say they can do this, but can't. So rather than explaining it, there's the proof. There's the proof that it works. Now, Susan and Mindy are here to explain to us how the heck this happens. So back to you guys.
Well, I'll take over here. I'm Susan and talk about how we got here first. Max, remember, it starts with a plan, and we have to just thoroughly research the target audience. And that can mean looking at 100 or so prospects and refining the criteria for who you're looking for, who you want to do business with, and understanding what makes them ideal, looking at their profiles, getting to their pain points. And then that information allows us to then refresh a profile. So Max, it let us go in and re-engineer your presence to attract these people, to be even more appealing to them than you already were. And it gave us the knowledge we needed to craft the outreach approach. And that's where we use a neuropsychology-based framework to have the right offers to make people more open to having that initial conversation. Then we put that all together in a performance management system that provides feedback, mostly in the form of numbers, that will guide us through fine-tuning.
Susan, the thing that I remember was when you gave me a list of the exact people that I wanted to work with. And my life changed because you know what most people do? They have some criteria and they push a button on LinkedIn. They get a big list of people that might be the people you want to talk to. And then they blast some message and they use the automation system of the day, the flavor of the week. You don't use automation. You've got a team that researches these people. You provided me with the actual list of names of the people that we were going to go after and the tailored messaging that we were going to use for each of those individuals. And that was the day I knew that A, this is a lot of work, and B, it might actually produce some results. So I get that, you put all this science and brilliance into this plan. And if you were to disappear off the face of the earth, I have everything that you've done in this plan. Right. But the big difference is that it starts with this concept of one-to-one, and you go out and you find the people, and then we reach out, and then you book calls.
We do, and I do want to make the point there are other people that will provide you with a spreadsheet, but we've actually looked at every one of these people, their profiles, their websites, and they meet the criteria that we developed along with you. And that's how we get to those good, high quality calls and not a bunch of calls that are going to waste your time.
Yeah, that's the worst thing that could happen to me. I'm not a salesperson. I'm running a business. If I start to have calls that go nowhere, big problems. But it's not just you and me, Susan, that make the world go round. In fact, you're not even the person I talk to on a weekly basis. You're the person I talk to on a quarterly basis to figure out some new experiments and new markets to go after. But on a weekly basis, it's Mindy and I working together. And apparently, Mindy, you've got an entire team behind you that you somehow corral into making all this work.
Yeah, so basically what I'm in charge of, I manage our performance lab, and there is a team of people that make the program run. And so many people think that they can just—
Human beings,
real human
They're
beings.
live human beings. I can call them on the phone.
Bots. Yes, you could call them on the phone.
They're
Slack
not
is
bots.
better. So we have real people looking at these profiles. I look at the profiles too, just to make sure that they're a good fit. We have researchers, specialists that actually send the messages and make sure that we're tailoring them appropriately. We have writers on the team, admins that help us keep organized with all the performance reports, and so we can keep an eye on KPIs and such. And then all of that feeds back to the client and the strategist, and we can make those strategic decisions about where the program needs to go, what's working, what's not, and how we can fix it.
Why have the other organizations that I work with given me one person? It's like I get handed off, I speak to a Susan who's seems intelligent, and then they hand me off to somebody, but that person like magically does, I feel like they do everything. And you've got an entire team here, each with their own special, you know what, it might be a rhetorical question, but it just seems like there's so much more work and individual specialties that goes into producing results. And for anybody listening that's handed off to a single person and that person's supposed to do research, come up with strategy, actually post the things, monitor for replies, write content, it just seems like an undoable job by an individual. And that's the stuff that people are peddling. Oh, combined with an automated platform that should make it all easy. To wrap up, look, let me be the first to tell you that it's possible. Okay. You've seen my calendar. I got 35 calls last week. Guys, that's too much. I'm telling you right now, I can't handle that. Let's take it down a notch. But it takes a plan. If somebody just starts doing for you and doesn't have a plan that makes sense, I'd be worried about it. If somebody's handing you off to a millennial that's the magic man that can do everything, and they're telling you that automation can, book you phone calls, it can't. Human beings are smart. They know when they're not being treated like a human being one-to-one, and it requires a team of researchers and people to articulate those messages one-to-one. And then you might just get the results. About half my conversations turn into opportunities because of the targeting that these guys do. A fifth of those turn into sales. And this has been, I think I can say, the sole contributor of revenue for the past year in my business. And so kudos to these guys. And we put this video together because 99% of it is so ask the people you're talking to provide you with a client that's willing to show you exactly how many calls they're getting and when, because that's all that matters. Fair? Cheers.